Hi there, welcome back to Save with Crypto. My name is Save with Crypto. I'm just going to show you how to make some money. First of all, what you need to do is to go to savewithcrypto.org/Bitunix, okay, and sign up to this exchange. It's called Bitunix, and deposit some money in there. I put some USDT in there, and that way you don't have to do KYC, so you don't have to show them any ID or anything like that. So at the moment you can see here my assets is 3,183 USDT. Okay. If you then go to futures, USDT perpetual futures, by default you end up on the Bitcoin USDT pair, and that's what we're going to trade today. Okay. Next thing you need to do is go to savewithcrypto.org/QZ, and you will end up at this page here. Now hopefully you've signed up to Bitunix already, but also feel free to sign up to Blofin, which is another no KYC exchange. And if you're able to, sign up to BitGet and Bybit or even Phemex as well, because they're excellent exchanges. Once you've done that, you can fill in this form. It just asks a few simple questions, and then you'll get access to an amazing indicator that we've developed called Quadzilla. Once we have enabled access, you'll be able to go to the indicator tab here, and in the invite only, you will see Quadzilla here. Once you've done that, you will see something like this, and I'm looking here at Bitcoin USDT on the Bybit chart. This is the perpetual contract one. Now today I'm going to be looking at it on the 1 minute time frame, the 3 minute time frame, and the 12 minute time frame. If you've only got the free version of TradingView, you'll have to go to the ones that are nearest to there, because I don't think you can set custom intervals. And if you do have one of the better TradingView levels, you can actually see all three charts at once like this. This is the 1, 3 and 12 minute time frames. Now we've already seen this momentum band here on the 1 minute time frame come below this level here. That is a good sign that the price is going to go back up. But we want to see that on the 3 minute as well, which we already have. But we haven't quite seen it on the 12 minute yet. It's getting there, but I really want to see something like one of these green backgrounds here, like we can see here, here and here. Now let's just go back to the 1 hour chart for the moment. So what I'm looking at here is this level here and this level here. So let's draw a Fibonacci from here to the top of that wick there, and you can see we've actually pulled back into the 618 level here. So that level we're at now is probably a pretty good level to think about making a long position. So if you want to kind of nibble into a trade, something like 116,640 might be a good opportunity. Let's do that. So over here, 116,640. Now as the price is rather high at the moment, I'm just going to change this leverage down to something like 15x. Even that might be a little bit too much, but let's give it a go anyway. Okay, so confirm that. So that puts that order there. So if the price comes down there, it will fill. But as well, we've got plenty of dry powder just in case it comes down much further. Okay, that did actually just fill. Okay, so our entry was at 116,640, like we said, and we're using $786 of margin. So on 15x leverage, that gives a position size of $11,694. So it's a reasonable size trade. So let's see what happens. Let's go back to TradingView and see if we can see any clues. So it looks like this convergence band is coming down here. So what I'm hoping is that we might get simultaneously a green background on the 1 minute, 3 minute and 12 minute time frames. So let's just keep watching and see what happens. What might be good is if I set an alert with this 12 minute here to show me when a green background appears. So we can do that by just coming up here, clicking the plus there, and I'm going to select Quadzilla, and I want to see green background triggered, and I want to see that once per bar. Okay, let's create that. Now I have actually noticed that this isn't the latest version, this is version 1.0. if I click that, I can update it here. So you can check that for update on all charts, update to latest version. Okay, so we've got 1.1 on all those time frames now. Now, I do know that when some people use the Fibonacci tool, sometimes people don't like to include the wicks. It depends really with me. I'm going from here to here because that was an impulsive move, and here I can see here that various levels do line up with the candle bodies. So for example the 0.5 here, and then you've got the 236 up there, 382 not particularly, but this what's that, whatever that one is there, 786 here is touching these candle bodies there. You could move it up to sort of say like the candle bodies there, these ones here, and then the top of that candle body there, so something like that. And then you can see at the moment, okay, well we could come back down to here, so for example the 786, which is at 116,432, so we can give that a go as well. So 116,432, and let's kind of use about, let's say like just over a third of what's left, just in case we come back down there. Okay, so that sets an order down here. But really what I want to do is to wait until we see that green background here on the 12-minute time frame, because I think that will probably happen fairly soon. And you could try and front run it if you like, but I think for the purpose of this video I will wait until I see the green background. And I did just see the green background flash a little bit there, so I'm going to go long. I'm going to go fairly heavy long sort of now with what's left. It's a little bit crazy, but let's see if that one fills. Okay, well it did. Okay, so about an hour or so later, this is looking good. These EMAs on the 1 minute crossed over. They look like they're about to on the 3 minute, not there on the 12 minute, but yeah, I'm expecting the price to at least go up to this level here, 116,786, maybe a little bit beyond. But if we see these EMAs cross over here, then probably go up a little bit. Just want to check the 5 minute as well, so let's just do that here. Yeah, okay, if we see these EMAs cross here, I'll be more bullish overall. Let's just put that back on the 12 minute. And what I might do here is cancel that order there, and I think I'm just going to change that order to the price we're at now and increase the size of the position. There you go, so that's now quite a big position there, nearly 47 grand. So let's see what happens next. Okay, so back on the 5 minute, you can see here you're getting the convergence shading there on these EMAs. This is part of the Quadzilla thing. So let's see what happens in the next 5 minutes with that candle there. Okay, now here's a pretty good example of what happens with these retracement levels. So here on the 1 minute you can see this green line gets drawn here. That means the price usually goes up for a bit, comes back down, goes to that line, sometimes dips below, and then goes back up with a bit more vengeance. Okay, now on the 12 minute you saw something kind of opposite, where the price was coming down, and on the way down it created this retracement line here. But this is a kind of bearish one, so what normally happens there is the price sort of comes down quite a bit, goes back up, hits that retracement, and then comes down again. Okay, so at the moment we're kind of coming down from here, and we're probably going to reach this here on the 1 minute. So I would suspect now we'll come down to about 116,692. So let's see what happens. Okay, so that price is coming down there, so let's see what happens next. And look how brilliantly that just came down to that level, bounced off it, and then it's gone back up again. That doesn't always happen. Sometimes it goes below that level and then goes back up again, but that's what's happening so far. And I bet if we look at the 5 minute time frame, we'll see that we're very near the cross of the EMAs. Yeah, pretty much I reckon the next candle in 2.5 minutes will probably do that. Okay, so actually on the 1 minute the price did actually come back down and did go below the level that I said. So let's see what happens here, because to me that should probably, now it's gone below that level, it should start to go back up again. I did notice on the 5 minute time frame that the EMAs didn't actually cross. They got close but didn't cross. So that's normally a sign that the price is going to go down for a little while. Meanwhile, I'm not going to worry too much about the trade because it is actually only 1.35% down, although that is $46 with a realised loss of $23, so we need to gain some fairly soon. Okay, so at this point I went to sleep and I woke up about, well, super early, about 5:30 in the morning, and the price had gone up quite nicely actually, so I moved my stop loss up into profit just like that. Okay, so now the trade was safe, and you can see here that at this point I was 5.74%, 179% in profit. On TradingView, on the 1 hour, everything was looking really very nice. You know, we'd had that bullish cross a couple of days ago, and everything was looking really, really good. Here on the 5 minute, we'd now got the proper sort of crossover of the EMAs, and they're in the right order now: red, cyan, yellow, green. Looking here at the 1, 3 and 12 minute, these are all starting to look a little bit overcooked. Well, the 1 and 3 are anyway. 12 is getting there. So at this point I thought it's probably about time that we took a little bit of profit. So I closed out at the price we were pretty much at. I just picked an order out the order book like that, and then selected about 20 odd % of the position, confirmed that, and that filled straight away, giving a realised profit of $91. So now I'll move the stop loss down a little bit because I'd covered the price of the fees and everything. Now here on Quadzilla, we started to see quite a lot of these little green triangles. The green triangles is the trend shield. That means that everything's looking like the price should come down, but for the moment it's still going up. Now what usually happens is they stop appearing at some times and you do get a little bit of a pullback. So I decided to try and take advantage of that. So what I decided to do was, now that I had some free money, I could now use that to add back into the trade on this pullback, then hopefully taking advantage of when it goes back up again. So I just set another order here at kind of 118.162, went for it, and that actually filled straight away. Now you can see what happened there is the entry price moved up, obviously, because the entry price isn't as good on average now. So I moved the stop loss up to make sure that nothing goes particularly bad. But by now it's looking good. It was like $423 in profit, with about $88 taken in profit already. And at this point I went back to sleep. When I woke up, things didn't look quite as good, unfortunately.
Now I'm going to move that stop loss a little bit down just while I think about what to do next.
Okay, so it's 9 o'clock in the morning now on Sunday, the 10th of August. And yeah, the price did come back a little bit. However, we have got this retracement line drawn here on the 1 minute time frame. So it's quite likely the price will go back up there. Also, on the 3 minute time frame, you can see we've got this grey shading here as these EMAs come together. So that's bullish actually. And here on the 12 minute time frame, this retracement level down here is a little bit worrying, but that might be irrelevant now because that was 3 o'clock this morning, so maybe we won't come back down there again. So to me it looks like we might go back up again. Let's just have a quick look at the trade, see if there's anything we can do with it. Well, the safest thing to do would be to just leave it as it is. So really what I should do is just close the trade now and be happy in the fact that I've got 12.41%, which is like $401 profit, which is not bad at all, and I'm using a margin of just over $3,000, so that's quite a nice increase, isn't it, in less than 24 hours, especially on a weekend. I'm going to leave the video here, but I will probably mess around with the trade a little bit, and I'll tell you what I'll do in the next video. So to make sure you know about that, please do make sure you are subscribed and you've got the notifications set on all. And while you're down there, give the video a great big fat like. Any questions, leave them in the comments down below. Do go and get Quadzilla by going to savewithcrypto.org/QZ. And above all, tell your friends.
Save with Crypto has to be one of the best YouTube channels that the United States has ever seen. Kamala Harris is not a subscriber, but I am. I have notifications set to all as well. I'd strongly suggest you subscribe to Save with Crypto today. Above all, you should tell your friends.
Save with Crypto is not a financial advisor. He just makes ice cream on the internet. If you cannot find someone to do your own research, you must do it yourself, just like I did not.